Another best of 5 series on our slate here. The Brock Bandits taking on Akron Zips. Cash, anything is probably going to be worse than our last series. It was just a banger out of the gates, but hopefully things can start to shape up a little bit here throughout this series. Talking about Akron, I guess, first and foremost. Last year they were a pretty solid team, being able to get that T16 finish overall inside of the East, inside of the West, and then being able to kind of change things around to be that outstanding team. It was great. And as we kind of take a look at this roster, you have Elite, Thieves, Kaiser, and Phantom. One name you don't see here is Bio.
Yeah, and that's maybe an influential player for this Akron squad. I mean, you look at the Thieves and Bio duo that was last year, and they were running it up at times, really just flowing and playing off each other so well. Now you trade you get Bio out, you bring a senior in like Elite, who just brings kind of just an untangible level of, not only seniority, of course, but experience and things from Call of Duty into the squad that maybe they lacked. And Thieves, being the backbone of the squad, knows what to bring in year in and year out. You've got some interesting prospects that, again, still need time to gel and form together, right? You bring in these pieces, they have to fit into the cog of the machine and find a way to work off of each other. So it'll take time for them, of course, but a roster with potential for sure.
Yeah, kind of taking a look from the top to the bottom, again, they kind of re-hit on some of the names you kind of brought up already. Elite, a sub coming into this team, it kind of replaces what Bio was doing on the map alongside with Thieves, but I guess what I kind of want to bring up about this guy is, I was talking to Logan beforehand, and I was kind of what makes this team kind of what's its complexion going into this series, in this season? He kind of tipped me off as Elite's one of those guys where he has had a lot of previous experience in Call of Duty, obviously being a senior. You brought up the fact that he has seniority, and can bring a veteranship to the roster. He just learned about this team's program this year. He wasn't aware of the Akron Call of Duty program instead of the CCL until this season. Of course, it's his last year of the school. So he's a one stop and he's out kind of guy. He's all right, if we don't do anything this year, well, that was my good shot at it, and so GG's. But he's got a lot to bring to the table this year, and I think he's going to be one of those aggressive, high flying subs that's really going to kind of put the best foot forward. Talking about, besides Thieves, who again is that returning player, Aiden getting the call up from Academy because of Bio. A young studded AR and Kaiser, who now comes to the team. A lot of you probably will remember him from the Wester days back just a few years ago. So, some things to keep track of, some names to kind of keep in the back of your mind for this Akron roster. But talking about Brock a little bit more specifically here as well, this was a team that kind of meandered its way through the second half of last year in their pool. They were in the same pool as Bay State, Northwood, McMaster, Davenport. So it's not like they had an easy road the second half of the season. And it showed towards the end.
It absolutely did, and you bring back a roster with the complexion of, again, upperclassmen, right? You have 2 juniors, a senior, and still a sophomore at that. So I think for Brock, you kind of had the death group of things last year. You're trying to sort your way through everything this year. You qual in D1 for a reason. They can trust their abilities and what they're able to bring night in and night out. You need to start off on day one. We stress it at the top of the show, right? Every match is important. If you want to not so meander and not go, what was 11-0 to a 5-6 finish in the regular season, this is going to start tonight against an Akron squad that, like you said, is threatened and made their reputation being a near or if not top 25 team at times. So again, a good matchup for both these teams to gauge where they are. But I know you also kind of have some intel on how Akron's kind of kicked off things.
Oh, they haven't started off great. You can say what you will about this team on paper. You can say, coming from Logan, the kind of the esports director of things over at the Akron Esports Club. But they lost 0-3 to Farmingdale. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are probably like me, wondering, well, who's on Farmingdale? And you probably won't recognize any names like I did. And you're losing that series 0-3 immediately to start off the year. Doesn't bode well for this Akron roster. And to everybody last year who has followed in the Twitter circle for CCL and whatnot, the Akron being a top 25 team was kind of a meme throughout the entirety of the season. Every time they got there, it seemed like they lost a match that knocked them out of the top 25. And was like, oh, hey, we're kind of like still good. We deserve to be in the top 25, and then they got knocked out again. And, losing 0-3 to Farmingdale, that is going to spark an entirely new conversation, which I think is going to be really good for the community. But it's funny to me because this is going to be that next step of like, okay, well, we already started off the season like piss. How do we go from here? And, well, the only way to do that is to be able to beat this Brock Bandits roster who seemingly for themselves have gotten an upgrade. Slime out, as we saw in before. Jet Mafia will be in for this roster. The core three will remain the same year over year, so at least that's good news for Brock. You have a good starting ground from last year and can only go up this year and improve and going forward. Taking a look at our map set overall for this best of 5 series, we'll start things off with a nice hard point on one of my favorite maps, Hotel. I know we saw it 3 straight times the last time to start the series. Embassy will be the search and destroy for map 2, and then we'll go to El Asilo for our confirmed 3 straight maps. But you can see from the Rock Bandit side of things, Fortress banned twice for the S&D and the Control, and then on the opposite side, Hotel banned for the S&D and the Control. Both of these teams have a very I guess tasteful palette when it comes to their maps. So we'll see what happens throughout the entirety of this best of 5 series. But I think my attention is immediately drawn to this first Hotel hardpoint because it shows a lot about these teams right out the gate.
It really does. We talk about it a lot as the more fundamentally sound hardpoint map. It's not quite an in-your-face run and gun that maybe Fortress would be. It's one that shows if your team is disciplined and good at making decisions, and not only making decisions, but following through with it, because at times you have to look at some of these hills and say there's 25-30 seconds left, we might have to chalk it up and rotate. So we'll kind of see the maturity of these teams and their fundamentals for hardpoint, an early look in with it being map 1. And for Akron, I mean, you just played a series where you kind of got handled and taken apart. How can you bounce back here, because you cannot be lacking fundamentally, even if mentally you're checked. It's got to be sound at its core if you're Akron. If you're again, this Brock team is not going to give it away easily.
Yeah, and there's 2 separate things I want to kind of talk about here. First and foremost, you're a young team. You're a young team with a lot to prove, but you come into the season with that kind of mindset of like, okay, early on in the season, you drop a series or 2. It's not the end of the world. You can still bring things back towards the end, but that's where you really have to kind of be like, okay, well, since we lost our first series, it doesn't feel must win, and it's not a must win right now. But you almost want to take it in that kind of context because of what that can do for a young team that's trying to mesh together in a good way. And I think that's kind of going to be like the big goal here, right? It's like, yes, you lose no 3 series, cool. Whatever. But like, if you can bounce back, even take 1 map off, that's a step in the right direction. 2 maps, great step in the right direction. Whole series, you're back at 1 apiece in terms of your overall map count. You're not stressing anything at that point either. You're just taking your time and just vibing out for the rest of the matches. So again, going forward, this is just about building chemistry between a young team and making sure that, towards the end of the season, you have the right tools and puzzle pieces for success right into, the playoffs and the tail end of the postseason. Wonder's going to open things up here, though. Kaiser and Jet Mafia will go ahead and trade back and forth. The Akron Zips are the first ones in towards this initial hard point. Very scrappy back and forth, but could be turned into a money hill if you're able to hold down the right angles.
A very quick spawn out with minimal pressure across the map. Akron flip them out towards kitchen, end up losing P1 control from there, and now spawns are going to be a little bit of everywhere for the moment as teams try to get semblance of or everyone else is around the map. P2, of course, going to be fought for on your right-hand side. Player 7, Elite, going to connect. Take down Jet Mafia. Now he's able to snap it a second as well. On 5 in a row to open things up 1 more, and you can get a cruise missile, which could be very well for them going on. But no signs of trouble early on, though a tied game. Akron's just looking to be flowing here as P2 looks to pop in just a few seconds.
I don't know if maybe they got the broadcast buff or whatnot, but Elite, talked about him. Aggressive sub, already has a streak for himself, 6-0 here in the first map, looking to continue that even further. Out towards the back line of spawns, though. Phoebes has a big one-on-one gunfight against the Brock Bandits players, and as that now has kind of collapsed on itself, it is going to be Cool Tux who does fall to Phoebes, and he can still stay alive out here towards the back lines because the reinforcements are in. Aiden gonna fall, though. Records and Wonders can now start to push out towards the back lines. They realize that Phoebes hasn't actually moved from the truck spot yet. He'll cut them down, and they can start working their way back in towards the point. Great little start here for the Akron Zips. Kills still continuing to go the way of the Brock Bandits, though. Spawns now can flip out in the opposite direction. Maybe you're okay with losing the back 30 here.
That last kill should solidify it. A couple kills on transition, not quite going to give you numbers. And look where player 5 spawned Kaiser all the way in the back of P2. While the hill's still up for grabs, those spawns are also going to be up for grabs. The 2v2 on the site, you'll open up with 1 if you're Wonder. See if you can get the timing with the reload. Your teammate, Guardian Angel, Records looks over you, able to connect for the kill, and you win rotation. Now, As this hit looks to pop, it's a tied game. Brock could get a real money hill in this one.
Combined throughout the team, 9 in a row for the Brock Bandits. Wonders will just play the tight-knit corner here. Akron will open the door up. Stuns, nades, going to go ahead and find their way on in towards the point. Wonders not going to be able to walk away with a kill, but the rest of his team will. 4 straight down from the Brock Bandits. Back to the respawn. The Zips go.
Pushing to mid-map. Thieves trying to maybe hit a pinch around the back, depending on what he can get. Everyone holding tight if the Brock Bandits, and 35 seconds still left for them to collapse. The push coming in now from Akron. They say go. What can they find?
Wonders, nice little shot through the doorway. 2 versus 2 will snap back immediately, recognizes that the door is opened up. Fee's forced to back all the way into the spawn side as he gets the nade stuck on the doorway, and as Wonders can just continuously play the snake angle up and down he'll go. Everybody else will come ahead over the top. Cool Tuck's beautiful 2-piece there, and as Jap Mafia now has another one on the rotation, the bar looks to be where they can set up for themselves next, but a nice 40-point lead is going to bode well for the last 5.
Cool Tucks flip through bedroom, so off spawn, you're not going to have an easy rotation to get over to your teammate. In Aiden at this hill, it looks to pop. He's going to be getting this time early on. Your teammate's trying to clear out mid-map cuts, locking down top bedroom, so the flank has been avoided for now. You can set your eyes on the front of the hill where players are pushing through. Aiden locking things down. Your teammate reinforcements come in. Things starting to string together. This looks to be a good bounce back hill for Akron early on.
First 15 seconds of the hill have gone a great way for Akron. It's come off the backhand of Aiden, finding a nice little 2-piece. Everybody else starting to help out around the rest of the map. However, it's Wonders and Cool Tucks who now combine for 3 straight kills. Only 1 comes from the Akron Zip side, so that's a 3-to-1 trade. Still holding down the bar side is those red arrows of the Brock Bandits, but now as Kaiser starts to make his way forward, shots in the back to 1, snaps back, teammates are there for help, but it's a 2 versus 1 gunfight in for the challenge. Vaznev won't win it. Wonders yet another double here in map 1.
This will put them at 120. Akron looking to make a good response here, and they're gonna need it. Getting out slayed around the map. Wonders moving and grooving through the back lines, able to find out anything he can. And now as he spawns to come in on the right-hand side for Akron, you are once again faced with a 2v2 that it seems like the Bandits have run away with, simply stolen away from you. As this hill pops, and now continuing to run up the score line well over 60 points.
I mean, everything that you got from that kill on Elite to the backside of the spawns gets negated because a team kill comes through immediately after the fact. You've also doubled up the side of Akron if you are the Brock Bandits. Now it's Jet Mafia. Can slide around the right side corner. One's going to be pushing directly through the front. Another 2 versus 2 trade. Finally, Akron will come out on top of one of these engagements, but it is the hill that's still being surrounded by the Brock Bandits roster. Records over by the kitchen. Spots out Elite over towards the right, snaps back around into the kitchen for a second. Can you go for an overzealous and over-aggressive third? The answer is no for the time, but as Aiden is still able to lay down, it's Jat Mafia who's there for another pinch back, and every single time Akron thinks that they have an opportunity to let things lie low, the Bandits bounce back.
I mean, for Akron, sure, you've won a rotation or 2 through the first 6 hills, but winning rotation is one thing. Being able to hold off a break is another. They haven't held off the first break attempt coming in. Now Rock Bandit have streaks. Now they open up the hill with it. Aiden has to go big here while his team is just fighting tooth and nail to hold on to spawns. The Bandits rocking and rolling around the map here early on, and again, that's because they've been able to break on their first attempt for seemingly all of these hills.
Uncheck top bedroom, doesn't find anything. Aiden doesn't realize that one of the players from the Brock Bandits has snuck his way under this P6 hill, but of course, as I say that, he gets snuffed out and shut down as Aiden up top for 2. Trophy system out, snaps back around the corner. Hello, Papa, says him for number 3. Does Wonders, and now Aiden will snap back. That's 5 in a row. Streaks once again, potentially on the table for a team. This time, it's the Akron Zips who look to have some utility to use later in the game.
20 seconds going to wave Akron as we set back towards our P1 rotation. It'll be Bandits with more mid-map control for now. Elite, what can you find with the Vaznev? Answer's going to be the first one for now. Players 4 and 5 duking it out. Wonders going to win one on the back line. Gets chopped down in the mid-map as well. So you rally back, still a 30-point deficit, but Bandits in control here. Akron need to collapse on the side as a team, not as individuals.
Feel like you're in a much better situation if you are the Zips in this situation. However, with a couple players down and towards the point, Cool Tucks will drop down from the top catwalk, spots the last one over towards the opposite side of the map, in towards P1. As Kaiser walks away from the top of Caddis Records, who's also here trying to tag team with the rest of the Brock Bandits to cut the Akron Zips out from contention here inside of P1. 30 seconds left, time available for either team should they choose to take it, and it's up to Akron now to make the decision. Do we want to force our way back in towards the middle of the map, or should we clear out our backlines, because here comes Jat Mafia on a sneaky little flank.
You can't give this time up. You needed to sit empty if anything, but you are starting to earn some of it. But as you said, Jat Mafia taking the deep route should get timing on the player's staircase and does just that. Wonders able to combine with Cool Tux. That'll be 3 for 1 in the feed. That'll be the last final kills on rotation. Akron Zips once again from the outside looking in. The game, a 15-point or so, but this break, if it comes in at all for Akron, is going to be telling of how the rest of the game finishes.
It's like you lose the spawns, but you want to try to keep hitting for the rest of the time in P1. It's like, yes, I understand you see the time, but like you have to think of the bigger picture a lot of the time, and they don't do that here, and they lose out on what could have been a 60-second point advantage on the back line here. Thieves cut down. You still have Elite in the back line, but it's the red side of Brock Bandit who are inside of the point, still holding on to this time, that are continuously running up the score. Elite will be there with the SMG in hand, had a hot start, slowed down a little bit, trying to tee up here towards the end of map number 1. Aiden in, but it's Wonders who pops yet another double, and as nobody is close to make the contestation here, the Brock Bandits will get past the 200-point mark, almost another 60-point margin for themselves here to the tail end of this map number 1 hardpoint.
You cannot lose this rotation if you're Akron, but once again, it's Brock playing the top bedroom position. That forces those spawns while P2 is still active. If that spawn's open, that's what you're going to get. Akron spawning about as far away as you can. They lose the gunfights on transition. It is once again Brock Bandits with numbers. A clean kill feed. Really about the only thing that could have saved you there, but you need every bit of this time here. You need to tie this one up to stay alive. Brock Bandits poised up and ready for another break.
I don't know if you know that Wonders is going to continuously keep challenging that, so I can't, say like it's a ticky-tacky thing, but like throwing the nade there, just like it negates what you were trying to do. If you challenge back with the Vaznov in hand, you win that gunfight 9 times out of 10, but that allows Brock Bandits to have a wide open doorway into the front door of the hill. Wonders is now on 4 in a row, and that's the one person you could not let get the hot hand here towards the back end of this hard point, but it's exactly who you give the kill away to. Records inside of it. Cool Tux there as well. Another 2 kills go the way of the Bandits, and Akron Zips as time starts to dwindle down in that kill feed, as well as the time starts to dwindle up for the Brock Bandits in terms of score. Everything's starting to dwindle out of light here. You need to have these last few pushes be perfect.
Unfortunately, it's not even like you're sitting at 190 and on the cusp of overtaking the lead. You are nearly 60 points from 220, and that still puts you down in the score column. So a full 60, and then some going to be asked of Akron here in map 1. Brock Bandits doing their work behind what Wonders been able to do, not only 25 and 17, but 149. They're poised and ready as a team to collect and get another break. Akron cannot hold on to anything.
Lead, you have to go big here. Snaps for a second. Teammates need to be there for trades. It's Kaiser who was able to find himself one, now making a second as he looks over the top of the hill. The bar still heavily contested here. Red arrows making their way up. A pinch play starting to form here. One through the back line. Kaiser snuffs it out. Down towards the bottom of the bedroom. It's Kaiser once again. Kaiser, can you go for a third? Absolutely. 6 in a row. Streaks now on the table. The Akron Zips have life in map 1.
It had to be perfection. It had to be the rally of the century for Akron to stay alive here. They do just that. Now they've made it the game here on rotation. They've got to win more of these gunfights. It's a pinstripe kill feed. It's a 1v1 for the first bit of time as it pops, but Elite, not sure what angle he wants to take for this gunfight. At least he's going to sniff out one, but you have player 4 here already garnering time. How quickly can he collapse before Brock gets back into play?
Oh, and Elite checks the middle of the map. You have to snap back over towards Wonders. He's been the thorn in the side of Akron all throughout map 1. You shut him down and now go for 3 in a row in the kill feed. Last one alive here over towards the hill will get shut down, and as Cool Tux falls, Akron once again have the advantage here and towards the hill. Oh no, my heart can't take another close hotel finish.
P6, or excuse me, P5, what it boils down to. Brock, they've been so good, so coordinated on their team. Pushes suddenly to fit through the cracks. Now they have 10 seconds left to close it out. Pinstripe kill feed where they retain numbers, and the break they needed the last second. They finally got it. Akron have one last chance.
They might have a pinch here. Thieves in the back line is able to find one. Can't find and snap to the second. Aiden's going to be down for a contested in towards the hill. Can't snap back to help out the rest of the team. And there's only one player left. It's Kaiser. Takes the knife out. Stays alive. Gets down. Reinforcements have an opportunity to enter in for Akron. And it's still time here. 6 seconds. Needs to be a rotation. And guess who's there? It's Aiden.
No actual way. This is how this is going to close out. When I thought it could extend to another hill, they find a way to. It's a foot race towards the hill. You have just one player here. 8 seconds left. This push has to be perfect out of Brock. It's got to come now.
It feels like the optic game. They try to break on in. Akron is still here. Contested is in towards the point. The red arrows in for the back line. It's Cool Tux. He's got to win a 1 versus 1, and he does. And somehow the Brock Bandits survive map 1. Akron did everything they could to try and do their best impression of the high point roster from beforehand. But Jesus, buddy, what a game.
Can we just get our replay to be the last 60 seconds? Honestly, make it the last 90. I mean, making sense of everything that happened. Akron rallying back. The knife, I thought Kaiser was caught out with the knife in hand. Teammates end up looking over you in the nick of time. You force it to another hill. You're there. It comes down to a 1v1. And Brock Bandits walk away with it. I mean, I thought Fortress ends were mixy. Hotel might have taken the cake with that one. Unreal out of Brock to clutch up and close that one out, because I thought, as you said with the high point one, that we were threatening another comeback, and man, hold on, here we go. Okay, here we go. Let's get this. I'm gonna be
I mean, like, we have a pinch play coming through here, right? So, like, yes, Thieves was the difference maker here. If he gets that second kill, things change completely. Regardless, though, Aiden staying alive here for that half second allowed Kaiser to still be here, and then the knife kill was crucial, because then this allowed the reinforcements to come in. They help out Kaiser over the top. He hops back up, but Wonder then falls to everybody else hopping back over toward the point. And then the big heads-up play from Aiden, coming off spawn, knowing he needed to get back over towards this hill, was crucial to everything working out, because this forced Records to back all the way off and wait for his teammates to come back. Yes, the Wonders kill in mid-map was big, but then the trades back and forth here really started to put the divide between these two teams. You had Cool Tux who came on the refrag, and if he doesn't get that last kill there on the right side and loses that in a 1v1, he has reinforcements, yes, that are hopping up from the van, but that 2-second tick that might have been able to come through just in time after that contestation could have spoiled things over. But I mean, you look at both sides, about as dead even as you possibly could be throughout the entirety of that hard point. But you got to tip the hat to Brock Bandits. Yeah, they lost a big lead early on in that mid portion, but in the end, they closed it out with the ice.
I think really the one giveaway play for me there, the tail end that won it for them. Of course, Cool Touch with the 1v1, but what he did before that, he took, it's a high risk, high reward play. It wasn't a big flank, but took a route through bottom bed under parking garage, and that's where you saw him come up the staircase, find the first to bring it to a 1v1 on the contested time. Again, it's a risky one, because if your teammates all fall and you're still running below parking garage completely out of the play, it completely mitigates what you were trying to do. It's kind of one of those plays where you live and die by it, and Cool Tux, at least the hero for now, to take the map 1 win. Whew.
Oh, brother.
Hey, I guess it's safe to say we're in for another series, even if it ends up being a 3-0 with how close these have played. It feels like early on, I don't know if you could ask for much better action going into night 1.
And I feel bad for Akron, too, because, like, there's two sides of the coin, right? It's like you already lost a farming deal 03, and like, you were like, this is the big moment. This is what we needed, the big hard point victory to get our season back on track, to give us the momentum back. And then you lose it, and everything starts to fall off a cliff, and it's like, oh, well, GG, go next.
Well, yeah, you feel bad for Akron because they were able to rally back and make it that close, but looking at how they played the entire hardpoint, I can't say I feel all that horrible. If they rotated, they couldn't hold the first push attempt, and then if it came down where they lost rotation, they couldn't break. So again, both sides of the coin, they were dropping the ball. They were able to rally back in a big way and make it close, but you didn't play great hardpoint up until that, so I can't say that, you know, you shouldn't be feeling anything more than at any point had they strung together a 40-20 hill, even 30-30. Could have changed the complexion of the game completely, but now we pivot, we switch to focus on an Embassy S&D where things will slow down dramatically. Yeah, for both teams, it's a matter of just kind of settling back into yourself and saying, whether we won or lost, we gotta wipe it. You can't keep, riding off of that adrenaline too much and letting it make you make mistakes, on the side of Brock. And for Akron, sure, you might be thinking about the loss you took in a 3-0 fashion. Now you just lost a really close hard point. I mean, it seems like things are constantly working against you so far tonight. But this is, again, I bring up early resilience checks on teams so much because I think it's important to show you don't quite lose ice. You know, you either can be resilient and bounce back, and it shows where your mental fortitude is early on against opposition, or it's something where you have to build that up, and you'd rather have the ability to bounce back in a series regardless, because you can control your mental no matter what. If you can't control winning trades, you can't control the first blood, you can control your attitude going into this map too, and I think for Akron, this is a big test for them in night 1.
I'm glad you bring that up too, because like a lot of people are like, "Oh, dude, my mental's shocked. This is GG." It's like, no, like you can easily just like say like, "All right, bro, like I'm gonna calm down, take a breath. We're good. We're just gonna go again." And that's what we got to do going into map 2, because a tough loss like that in map 1, where you took all that effort, all that energy to be able to come back, you're sitting there thinking, you're like, "Oh, dude, he can play. He's out. We're good." And then you lose, and then it's GG. So,
yeah.
Embassy map number 2, B-bomb site, obviously the preferred site overall on the offensive side when that's involved. Stun check from Elite going to be pushed up. He's got the bomb in hand. With the rest of his teammates now making his way over towards B. It should be able to go down, or it could go down here in just a moment, but all these stuns and nades out towards the doorway are making them apprehensive of putting it down. Shots from Elite will back off the first player from Brock out the doorway, but there's another one there laying down. Will you be able to get the best of it? No, it's Wonders. Who else? It opens things up with the first blood.
Just a great 3-stack in and around Orange, where there was a player at every turn. You thought each had the player low, there was a player still on staircase, and now Aiden on an island here at the B site. You have players maybe trying to provide oversight, but your mid-cross is really taken away, and you know 3 players are stacked up here. It's going to try to get this plant down regardless, but what more can your teammates do unless they're getting the play?
I mean, that's the best play scenario, too. Like, you know, if you are on an island and nobody's challenging you for the bomb, you just try to get away, you try to play your life, and, like, you know, you force your teammate and across the map to be able to go ahead and find something. I thought maybe for a second Cool Tux loses that gunfight. He's down to 1 HP. Kaiser up in top of the window. Shot's going to be there up and above. Nobody else going to be actually behind Kaiser here at this point in time. So 25 seconds. This is a winnable round if he wins that gunfight. He's after the first, gets the second, backs off with his life all of a sudden, even though he's got 6 HP. It's a 1 versus 1, and he flies through the doorway. How? How about that? The strike back from map 1. Akron, 1-0 up in the search.
It's not like a 1v3 to get you back in a what would be a map or a series. Whew, you had to chase for that kill. Lines up all 3. I guess they just didn't think he was going to go low again, but unbelievable there. Opening round for Akron to hit the regain, like you said.
And I love that, too, because, like, you know, a lot of people in that situation will probably expect you to be playing up in towards the top of the building, still trying to get those long angles, that AR aim down over towards the bomb, because it's like, that's your win condition. Kaiser plays it, takes it a completely different way, and that's that Western search and destroy that we love to talk about. Just a little bit unorthodox, and he walks away with the round win. Such a great way for Akron to start things off. B-site once again for offense. The Brock Bandits are here. Team's going to be behind, but the bomb will go down. 45 seconds for a retake here. At least you got the first blood off the table.
Everyone backed up around Embassy. Akron in a great position with the map control that they have. You're going to work these 2 players on the bottom side through. You could get great timing here. You invest the dead silence. As soon as you open this door, you should at least be able to find one before we're getting traded. That is exactly the case, but Jap finds another one around the map. Or excuse me, Wonders. Kaiser with a gimme now. 1v2.
That timing.
You still have bomb planted, but the timing doesn't go your way. Who is it once again? Kaiser on 5 in a row. Put the team on the back in the first couple rounds. Get you some good ones on the board. Now you find yourself up a quick. Much needed, and well, you'll take it 2-0.
You know, as much as it doesn't translate over to the search and destroy immediately, I mean, I can understand why Akron kind of banned the hotel as their search and destroy and their controls as well. Here on Embassy, they look extremely comfortable just being able to take aggressive gunfights. Even in 2 versus 4 situations, you know, that play that Aiden made to get the bomb down saves the round. Yeah, we can talk about Kaiser all day, but, you know, it's the little, you know, the micro adjustments, the small, you know, kind of plays that you make around the map that are going to change the complexion of an S&D, and that's what we've seen from Akron so far here in map 2. Looking to get back over towards B yet again. Kaiser on 5 in a row. You would love to see the rest of the team bait out for him, and that snipe, beautiful, so crispy, so clean. Cruise missile already on the table now for Akron. Streaks in the back pocket, and the bomb goes down at B.
You at least have one of the kills over here if you are Brock Bandits, but oh, that hit marker is criminal. It doesn't even matter. Beebs finds 1. Kaiser connects with the pistol for the other. Another 1v1. Kaiser, I mean, what more can you do at this point? And you pull it off.
I think he's spotted up towards the top 2, and Wonders is not going to expect him to be out here. Or is he? Almost takes his head off. But Wonders walks away with the kill and is going to be able to get the defuse as well to follow it on. That would have been a crazy round again from Kaiser, but it would have proved to me that we're living in this world right now in Embassy. That's where he likes to stay.
Couldn't quite connect. And, I mean, I'm down for more Kaiser Wonders 1v1s, honestly. I think that's going to be a treat this entire series.
How does that not kill him, though? Like,
no clue. And then the pistol one tap with the pistol is insane.
I'd have done like 5 HP to him with the pistol.
Oh, definitely.
Bob in the hands of Cool Tux. Over towards B. Nade top. Tries to cut at least 1 player from Akron down. Won't be able to get any information just yet. Kaiser still has the sniper holding down the mid lane of the map. Once again, flank starting to make its way through, develop in the back lines. It's Elite who's on his way through with a sub. It's an AR.
Whew. Gives him some range. Isn't able to cut player down, get into orange, but his teammate's there. That's going to be 3 kills in succession. Records left all alone. Maybe he can find one here, but again, with being able to hop that.
No. No. Oh, Jesus. Dude, what is happening?
Oh my gosh, you said you can't take many hard point hotel finishes. I can't take the first 3 rounds of an embassy, dude. This is madness.
It's like, you know, a lot of the time, and we'll see it again here, like, you know, we don't expect them to completely stack like they did here. And yes, you know, Thieves walks away with the kill, albeit it got scary. You just can't stack like that. I know you're just trying to like take like the aim assist away, or, you know, force them to hit more shots than they have to get, you know, a normal kill through like the penetration kills, but it's like, golly, dude.
Oof.
Just don't stack the thing. Just don't stack the bomb.
Never ends well, truly. Akron, though, push it back towards his B side aggressively, and Brock with the players trying to work the same thing. Kaiser connects again. I mean, this is a clinic at this point. Obviously, no one's on that side of the map, so we'll leave that POV for now, but his teammates don't even need him over there. Thieves, Aiden, combined for 2 bombs going down. Wonders, what can you do in a 1v odd situation? At least able to find one, but bomb will go down, and there's still 3 left to go. Spread all around the map.
The person that's like coming through on the flank right now is Kaiser, so like even if these next 2 players fall, like you still have your clutch like player situation left for you as well. But anyways, doors open, checks left, spots it right, just isn't able to walk away with the kill because he's got 2 different players from Akron directly looking at where he's coming from. Was hurt immediately. You saw a lead up in towards the top, be able to help out Aiden there immediately after the back. So as Aiden walks away with the kill, the Akron Zips have a 4-1 lead here on the Embassy. Looking to go ahead and waltz into the sunset here in just a few more rounds, trying to take a 1-1 tied series into map 3.
Great objective play, but Kaiser with the first bloods, or, you know, the 7 straight to open up the S&D. Either way, everything for Akron clicking here on this map. Brock maybe throwing a little bit of an audible here. Elite's gonna have his handfuls of moment. He hears something up as he slows down and prones at this corner. Wonders finds the first blood. They might know this B push is coming in a moment with that kill. That should be the case. No one adjusting yet for Akron. This A plant should go down fairly free depending on what Kaiser sees on the cross. And can't connect there, but gonna give it another go.
He's able to walk away from it. And he gets spotted out of the top of the staircase. Forced back inside of the building. And that will go ahead and start that countdown timer of 45 seconds. Still is playing passive here on the staircase. Kaiser's trying to get himself into a good position. Semtek's out, just trying to throw basically a Hail Mary prayer to try and get some information on where somebody is going to be. Nobody immediately around the corner just yet, but as Aiden is able to start his way forward, Stun's going to be there. Tries to just sprint his way forward because he knew he wasn't going to be able to get out of that alive. And in a 1 versus 4, Kaiser tries the quick scope. Will just back off for the time being. No reason to give him any more kills. This is an unwinnable.
Not that it came too late. We'll have to circle back and find that out here in the next couple of rounds as they unfold, but a necessary and good adjustment out of Brock, hopefully. Not too late for them. But, I mean, you win the first bloods, you bully out the 2 players on this side of the map, you play, again, aggressive behind that to get the bomb down. It was a good execution from them. Now they have to do that for not only 2 straight rounds to tie the thing up, but 4 rounds in total to try to win this thing.
I add Kaiser still has the streak in the back pocket, so he chooses to use it. Might be a defensive type thing more than anything else. Still has a sniper in hand, hasn't put it away throughout the entirety of the S&D so far, and for good reason. The Brock Bandits have not been able to challenge out towards that outside lane as they continuously just keep going to the same spots over and over and over again on defense. Thieves is going to make him pay. Almost takes the head off of the player up and towards top. Kaiser, very deadly with the sniper. Bandits are lucky to walk away from that one alive.
2v4. Now we'll start to see this bomb go down. Wonder's going to try to find anything. Really just trying to see what his teammate can do on cross. Gets cut down, and that'll be bombed down. 1v4 here. Akron should walk away with the round win.
Wonders does look good all series long. This would be the round to potentially just walk away with maybe like a crazy 1v4. Unfortunately, though, everybody's just surrounding him, and there was really no opportunity for him to isolate a 1 versus 1 gunfight. So 5-2 now. Search and destroy match point. Akron, 1 round away from tying the series up.
If I'm a squad with Akron circled on the calendar, Embassy might be one I'm trying to get out of here. They really look so well. Kaiser with the sniper at the utmost effectiveness, more than you could ask for. Again, has been 1-3 since the streak, but that it doesn't matter because his teammates just simply picked up the workload around him, and now just 1 round away, as you said, from closing this out. Brock quickly over to B, but another 3 stacking in towards orange. Bulltuck's gonna try to get this down quick.
First blood on the Kaiser. Good information early on in the round where Thieves is able to get cut down as well. It's all of a sudden a 2 versus 4. Aiden and Elite last alive here for the Zips. A retake situation. Wonders will be able to find one. Dead silence gets popped there. I'm not sure if that's going to count completely for him popping it.
Shouldn't.
If the animation didn't play out long enough, so you should be able to have that in the next round. Either way, Brock Bandits is a much-needed round win there. One thing I will say, Cash, kind of just to bring this point into a little conversation, especially with a team that is keeping 3 of its players from last year, it looks very, disconnected from this team when it comes to the search.
Yeah, it seems like the adjustments they're making, like I said, feel a bit too little too late. They're another great adjustment. You bully out B, you get pushed across behind the stuns and the attack information you're able to find and challenge those gunfights, but this needed to come 3 or so rounds ago. Kaiser, of course, going on that spree. It felt like you couldn't quite help what was going on there, but what you could control, you made the adjustments too late, and as you said, disconnected is the best word for it. At times, feeling like 4 individuals running on the map, not quite sure what approach they want to take.
Surprised Kaiser didn't get cut down on the back lines there. It looked like they had 2 different players trying to chase him through the spawn side. Regardless of that fact, though, nice job here from the Akron Zip side to be able to trade things back out to an even 3-3 stance. The Rock Bandits still do have pretty good positioning on the map at the moment. A site really not somewhere where Akron look to want to go at the moment, and the bomb will get stuck down in the top hill over by the AC. This is going to be such a precarious spot because now you have to fight an uphill battle, and I mean that literally. Kaiser does have overlook up towards the top of the AC unit. Could be able to pick somebody off.
And I wonder what prompted Aiden to go top. He had played so well low, playing around ladder and around that corner to get bombed down quickly and just dies out of position. Kaiser with a sniper not going to be able to do much here, as Brock are going to play around that. And again, Fees not in a position to be able to cleanly get over there. Gets cut down by Records, and there you go, Brock, take it.
I know Kaiser was trying to get out the window there. But it was the fact for me that like Wonders was just still sitting here the entire time, just hearing him flop around, break the window and everything, and just didn't come through the doorway yet. He was just like, dude, what is he doing behind this door, bro? It was like a mom with a teenager in the other room. So regardless of the fact, offensive round here for the Brock Bandits. Last time they played a very aggressive push over towards B. Got it down within the first 15 seconds of the round, eliminated Kaiser off the board. That has been the, I guess, big stepping stone that they've learned. If you can cut down Kaiser, the rest of the team, yes, they can kill and slay out, but it's been just that big step in the right direction where got the sniper down. We have full map control for ourselves, and already you get Elite, but Kaiser is able to snap back, trade back and forth, 3 versus 3. Brock still trying to force that round 11.
He's able to find another. You traded out. Kaiser is off the board. Bomb going to go down. Now these last 2 players, how quickly can they get over here? Aiden might be able to spoil this plant, but not quite going to be in position. Cool Tux gets out with his life. And all of a sudden, this Thieves Records 1v1 might dictate the round. Records wins it. Aiden, whew, what can you do?
And they know where Aiden is too. Because after Cool Tux planted the bomb, when he got away, he heard that door open. He saw Aiden directly near him, and they can just play these long lines of sight all the way back because they have the bomb planted for them. And Aiden with the Vaznev has to go up against 2 players who both have ARs in hand. First gunfight around the corner. Not going to spot him out just yet, but it's Records all the way in the back line who's able to help out his teammates, Brock Bandits. It feels so damn similar to the last series we played. We've got another round 11 on our hands.
I said Brock needed to make those changes 3 rounds prior, but they've executed on 3 great rounds where it has been decisive. They haven't looked disconnected. And now they give themselves a round 11 situation. Do they have enough to close it out? Or do they fumble the bag here? And I think that's exactly what Akron has done. Again, who's more willing to clutch up? For Brock, it's been on the comeback. For Akron, it's trying to hold off a potential comeback and avoid them from going up 2-0 in the series.
What has been the good points out of Akron so far? It's been their aggression. It's been the ability to get the bomb down over towards B, but Aiden's got the bomb in hand this time, and they were trying to work this over towards that A site, but guess who was ready for it? The Brock Bandits were. Kaiser cut off the board immediately. What has been so crucial to the success of the rounds from the Brock Bandits side of things has been cutting Kaiser down early. Now that Thieves has also fallen, it's a 4 versus 2. Defense reigning supreme. Aiden and Elite once again in a 2v4.
and you are completely surrounded. Those two players got the kill, flew through the backside of the map, and you're basically forced to play over towards A because you have an idea that, look, I don't think the top side of the map is safe anymore. No one's going to give up these kills. Aiden at least going to find one. I thought, no. Oh, no.
That's the round.
That's it.
That's where it all falls apart. Cool Tux from behind is going to be able to find the last one. If you get wonders there, maybe you're able to double challenge around that right side, find the second player who's going to be trying to get you back for a trade, but instead, you're not able to find the amount of shots for the kill. And somehow the Brock Bandits come back in the search and destroy. And after what looked like Akron was going to be able to take their first series, or excuse me, their first map inside of the season of the CCL, they're at risk of going down 0-3 in another series. This is just... I don't want to say it's a spell of bad things for Akron to come, but there has been no ice in these last two maps.
With how strong Kaiser opened it up, I said that he could afford to slow slightly in productivity because his teammates picked it up. They did for a few rounds, but also, I mean, it comes with it's just such a hard battle, living and dying by the sniper. He started out 7-0, finished 2-7. So you kind of have to figure out, do you keep it out and hope you can connect with a couple more shots? Or do you put it away and maybe give yourself a better chance, some aggression or some other movement around the map? He opts to stick with the sniper, and again, it just doesn't pan out for you there. And Brock simply go massive as well to a hard counter the last 3 or 4 rounds to everything Akron was trying to do. I just think in that round 11, Akron, you just overthought it. The A site, you got the A site every time you pursued it. Now, whether you won the round or not is a different case, but the bomb plant went down every time, except for when Aiden was out of position, playing at Embassy trying to wrap towards A, or playing top AC and got killed there. So, again, I think you just overthink things, and that can hurt you more than just sticking to the game plan. Why fix it if it's not broken?
Yep.
Zips find themselves down 0-2.
It's really just unfortunate too, because like there's a couple rounds where like we spot out like, oh my god, if he just wins that or he just does that, like this search and destroy could have been over like 3 rounds ago before they even got to this spot where they hit around 11. And it's like, and living and dying by the sniper, like it's kind of like just living and dying by like the 3 in the NBA. It's like some nights you're hot, some nights you're not. And like even if you start out a game like really good from the 3, if you just keep chucking them up towards the end of the game, you're probably not going to win it if you're not making them. I just think back to the Rocket series where they went 0-27 in the final game, and it's like, if you're at a point where you start off 7-0 and you only get like 1 or 2 kills since that point to like finish out the game, like there's no wonder the other team's coming back. You're basically taking yourself off the map because they're finding different angles, they're finding different rat spots they can get behind you, take the sniper out of the equation. Once they figure that out, and once we even brought that up, like it was all the Brock Bandits throughout the rest of the search and destroy.
Oh, and Aiden not being able to get that kill there, so tough. Like you said, maybe you stand a chance if you can find it, but you don't. And I don't know if, I mean, I can't believe how close these maps are playing. It's been heartbreak on one side. It's just been absolute ice on the other, and we have seen 2 score lines within 11 points in our first 2 hard points of the series, and 2 round 11s. Wonders is having a night here in this series specifically, and 11-6 had a monstrous map 1 to rally them to a victory as well. What do you have now as we go to a CeeLo? 3 maps, 3 completely different complexions. I mean, I can't believe the ice Brock has. I mean, they were down.
Dude,
in both
it's
situations.
crazy.
Those situations they were down a little more devastatingly in the search, but
yeah,
the rally on these guys is unreal.
I was good, and literally you brought up like the 2 things I wanted to say like before we went to break. Like, yeah, Brock's had to ice the last 2 maps, and if there's anybody that I'm looking out for the rest of the series, it's going to be Wonders, because he's been frying throughout the entire series. Backside of a break, we're going to have the LSELO control coming up around the corner. You won't want to miss that. An opportunity for the Brock Bandits to close things out in a 3-0 sweep over the Akron Zips. Until that point in time, we'll be back in just a bit. Well, it's not looking good for Akron. Down 0-2 in the best-of-5 series here against the Brock Bandits. They already lost the series 1-3 earlier on in the day. They're already 0-1 inside of the CCL for this season, so 0-2 is not going to look that good. It's not going to feel good either, and I can't imagine that anybody in Akron is feeling too happy with the results after that first series, but right now, you lost the first map by 2 points, and then you lost a map that you probably should have won, 6-5 to this Bandits roster of Brock. So we go to an LSELO control here, Cash. The one map that they won in their previous best-of-5 series was the control, so maybe this is where things start to turn around, and we kind of get like a Vanguard early Modern Warfare 2 kind of overall arcing series of like, okay, team won first 2 maps, who's going to win the next 2? And then we force a game 5, and then the team that should have won 3-0 wins the final game. So hopefully I didn't just jinx that, but it probably will happen now. So.
Caster Curse is alive and well here in the CCL. We'll come to find out. But I do actually, if they can win the control, they were moving really well around Embassy. So, we'll see what kind of translation that makes from an S&D to a respawn. But for map 4, at least what we've seen of their, team coordination and calls around the map, they weren't bad. So I could fair for them to see a game 5 in this one. They really need to come out strong in this control, though, and come out swinging because, well, that's their only choice. But again, to get themselves to a respawn on a map where they looked like they had composure and comfortability, sure, you end up losing it, but that doesn't take away from what they did in the early portions of it. Yeah, this next map is everything for them, because I think if they can take this control, we could just be going to a game 5 almost by default. We'll see what they have left in the bag, though, because it is a CeeLo, and if we've learned anything from the CeeLo we've seen tonight, one-dimensional gameplay don't quite bode well for you.
Over towards the satellite, something we just didn't see in the last search and destroy between the previous 2 teams of High Point and the Bucks got, yeah. We get some action over towards it immediately, and the offense is in towards this A zone off the rip. So starting to bode their first bit of progress in towards A. Trying to get the rest of the map under themselves in default. Wonders is going to be playing in towards the bottom of the bar area. They're already on 3 in a row. And he's been streaking throughout not only the hard point, but the search and destroy as well. He's just been that lead guy for Brock thus far.
Absolutely. Thieves here going to pose a problem for Brock trying to get back on this A site. So long as he's here, Jat able to collapse down for 1 and Cool Tuck with the 2nd. So of course, as soon as I say that, they say pay him no mind. 2 ticks of progress earned. And now off the brakes. Akron gonna try to figure out where they want to push to, but Wonders slipped the net. What timing can he find here?
Might get some good timing, but I actually really like this push out of Akron because they go back over towards A, isn't able to find the shots on the final player, and his teammate takes the kill, negates the streaks. 11 bullets left in the mag, and yes, they cut them down before they're able to capture the entirety of the A zone. But, I like that play from Akron because, like, yeah, you think they're probably going to, on defense, go back over towards B because, you're pushing on offense. You're probably going to be like, oh, hey, let's trick them out here. But it gets shut down anyways because of the flank that comes through. There's Wonder's 6th kill. There's the streak to go along with it. And right before he falls, he gets utility in the back pocket. So, Brock Bandits early on here on defense, trying to go ahead and close things out, making sure they can't get this A zone, force them over towards B. You see Wonders by himself in 1v2 on the side.
Able to get 1. First tick of progress not going to come in, and oh my gosh.
Okay.
a clinic here early on. 8 and 1. No progress earned. Still 1 tick needed in 30 seconds and dwindling. Here if your Akron decision time, and the more this clock ticks, the easier the decisions get for Brock Bandits. Now they're going to roll back over to this A site, see what they can do, because, well, you don't want to get it for free at this point.
You're okay with dumping lives over to the other site too, because it's like, okay, well, we're up by 5. They need to get back over towards B, which is already a difficult site, and it's already proven to be difficult for Akron to get back over to, because we've been able to touch anything on it. And every time, you even have 2 or 3 people alive, Wonders just comes and clutches it up against the entire team. Aided up and towards the top. Trying to sneak his way out and towards the back line of spawns. Wonders down below. No figure. And, you got to win that. But you just got to win that.
Absolutely do. For now, Brock Bandits holding on. You're trying to push through this window, and again, stress the importance of having this positioning to overlook the site. But that nade's going to connect. The cleanup going to come in as well. As long as you have a player in your back line and Jat, yeah, you're going to be trying to take care of this. So that's already going to be resources delegated, taking away, and already 40 seconds dwindled. You're down 8 lives. We say control more so on this one than feels like titles previous. 1-4 down can really solidify things for you, but these kills need to start rolling soon, and Jat not going to give it up for free. Spawns
are very, very far across the map from where an offense and a defense can spawn back over towards the eventual point, but right now that really doesn't matter because Jat is still making noise in the back line. 2 quick kills on the floor that we're pushing up from the Akron Zips roster. You still have player number 1, Thieves, who's trying to push him towards the back line. Yes, a kill walks through there, but you're left with 39 HP, and you can't really challenge out. Nobody rest of your team is going to be that close. Kills still going red for the Brock Bandits. And that's another one. Should have gone their way. Elite is taken down from behind with 2 seconds left. Nobody's going to be able to be there for a touch. So, round 1. Easy. Defense takes it quick. The Bandits up 1-0 in the control.
And that's a stinger of a first round to take a loss for. If you are Akron, you only got 3 ticks of progress. I mean, the life deficit was also 11 or so. simply put, Jat stayed alive for way too long in your back lines. If you have to take 3 people off spawn to get him cleared out, at least make that part of the map feasible for yourself, knowing you won't get shot in the back. When you don't take care of that, again, you're constantly fighting a pinch play, a stagnant pinch play out of Brock Bandits. So great job by them. Jat, why move if you don't have to? Does just that. They get a good round 1 on the board. Wonders starts things off at 10-4. And now we'll see what he can do over here at this A site with the rest of the team.
8 up top. We're going to try and push his way forward, but the Akron Zips, this is a beautiful start to a round for them. 4 down immediately. This is where they can start the spawn trap. Yes, Wonders is going to invest a streak here. I'm not sure if I love this play immediately because nobody's really in a position to make anything out of it. You're trying to break yourselves out of spawn in the first place. This is a great start. I mean, a great start to what otherwise would have been a relatively lackluster control so far for Akron.
50 seconds left. You still have time to make a play out of here, but again, you are in about as close to a spawn trap as you can be. You end up getting good timing. You're able to get top warehouse now. Can start to work over towards this A site. Need a couple of kills here, and this push gonna have to be pretty fruitful for you. If you want to find a way to get progress earned, that's going to be 3 for 1 in the feed. The opening that you needed now. How quickly can you earn progress? Just 30 seconds left. You'd hate to get wiped again.
See Jep towards the top. Realistically, it only being a 5 life disadvantage here, it's not the end of the world in this round, but it's the fact that the time is continuing to dwindle down to about 25 seconds, which is really going to be the thorn in the side. Still trying to make their way forward. Aiden's going to get some information onto 1 over towards the cell tower. You have 2 different players now making their way on up. Cool Tux is going to be there. Thieves is going to be able to bounce back for a second kill. Knows one's still out and towards that side, but Jam Mafia hasn't made his way forward just yet. Wonders will fall on the point over towards B. They've cut that down perfectly, and now with just 10 seconds left, it's an A site trying to be controlled here for the offensive side. Brock Bandits have 2 on it, trying to stack this point. They're going to get that first bit of progress. Thieves, though, will be there for 1. Nade in hand, has to back off for just a moment's notice, and there's still players here from the Brock Bandits trying to stack this point. Still 2 on the point. Elite going to be in from behind, is able to snap to 1. Thieves now ready for the challenge back. Wonders not going to be able to fall just yet, and as he jumps down in from the top ropes, the Akron Zips want to close things out here on defense, but they won't be able to. An extra minute will be added onto the clock. Still about a 7 life lead.
The deficit, not too drastic for Brock, but Akron, you threw a lot at it to try to get it done and still kept a life advantage, so sitting in a fairly good position. And again, Kaiser in the same position Jat was in. 2 players. We'll see how quickly they clear this out. And again, this is exactly what Akron need to do. Look how quickly these players are going to try to clear this positioning out. You have Wonders alive doing what he can to maybe distract these players and pull them away. Regardless, you haven't earned much real estate around the map, and you still have Kaiser alive in your back lines. I thought they were taking care of him. 3 bodies were stacked up in the building, and no one seems to care.
Okay, take your knife out, start carving up the offense. Wonder, sure, you'll bounce back for 2, but you still have a 9 life disadvantage that you're going to have to make your way back through. Although it is still extremely doable. You can see how far back Akron is playing. They've got mid-map control. Oh, just kidding. They don't have that anymore. Wonders will cut down the first player. Helps things out a lot. You at least have an isolation kill over towards that left side. 2-2 back and forth. Rock Bandits are still here. Wonders to the drop shot. Gonna fall to the hands of a nade. As Elite will back off, Jet's still here. 9 seconds left on the point. 16-7. The lives are spread still across the board. Akron with the advantage. Staunch as it is, it's going to be a foot race back to the point, and I don't think Brock's going to be able to touch this in time. Yeah, with just 1.5 seconds left, it's not going to be possible. Akron will tie things up here on defense. We've gone back and forth, handshake both the rounds. Control has gone even steady through the first 2.
Only 3 takes of progress. Neither team has been able to take over at the B site, so I wonder if we see a break, coming from Akron here that's giving themselves a chance at the B site to even earn a tick of progress. That'd be better than what either team could accumulate through 2 rounds. Regardless, you make a good hold. Came down to the wire for Brock to try to make a play, but you hold strong, and the lead at 14-12 Kaiser. 10-10, leading the way for the team on the other side. Wonders, I mean, really playing like the 8th wonder of the world throughout this entire series. It's 17-9. Kind of the only one getting the job done for the team so far. We'll see if anyone else can step up.
I mean, dude's got like the double strap, like Jansport backpack on right now. Like he's doing everything that he possibly can to keep his team inside of the game. But I mean, realistically, there was a chance that they might have been able to get close over towards B towards the end there, and it was because Wonders was able to find Elite and towards the bottom of middle, and then they started pushing the map up. But I mean, again, that's it's all here or there. Didn't happen. Didn't win the round, and now it's back to an offense where they're trying to go ahead and control things for the Akron Zips. Yeah, you're over on B, but, for how long is this going to be able to last? The Brock Bandits are still here, but Elite's making a great play. He's gotten behind 1. That's going to be 2 different players over on the B zone completely for free. You have to worry about Jat Mafia, who's trying to make a flank route around the backside, but they're going to be very, very keen to it this time through. 25-25, lives are still B site. Now that first bit of progress go through.
To me, that's a huge win for Akron. They invest the resources to get even one tick. Now stacking it to maybe get the second. We'll see what Elite can find to slow down this push. That should be the second tick of progress coming in, and that is going to be. You also have progress being earned at A. Suddenly, a war on two fronts. Rock Bandits, you got to pick and choose where you want to go. Jack going to do what he can to clear. Snaps to one. Gets the clearance before B comes in. But for Akron, you're still sitting pretty over at A. A tick and a half already earned.
Yeah, I mean, you're not mad that you're at A, getting this tick progressed all the way up. And, like, yeah, you can add an extra minute, but, like, you would have loved to have that B zone immediately because A is so easy in comparison to be able to take on over. But there it is. A zone secured. Extra minute on the clock. 3 life advantage to the offensive team, needing only a tick of progress at B to win this offensive round. That's their win condition, at least on one front.
Elite, one more kill. Would warn him a crew missile. He's been running and flying around this area. This is part of the map. Bounce between these two doors, having an absolute field day. 2 HP and does not care. Still willing to chow around, but Cool Tuck is going to cut it down. Just 1 tick needed. So the best position either team offensively have sat in. And Brock Bandits not having a full setup defensively. Thieves, Elite, whoever it is, playing this top building so well, forcing you to have to take these gunfights early on. While the 3-stack comes in, they might just stack this quickly and get this far.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it, and I wouldn't be mad at it either, because you got 3 kills coming in immediately. Now Jat Mafia is going to get cut down and towards the top. Akron, life for the first time in a while. They've got themselves a lead inside of a map. Could force a 4th hardpoint map. If they're able to take another round here in the control, they're going to go back to a defensive round, where they looked extremely good on last time through. One thing I will say here, though, Cash, is like, Brock had a streak to work with from Wonder. And you know where that was used? That was used to try and break out of the spawn trap, or at least, like, kill somebody in that, like, the round where they lost horribly on their offense. They don't have that anymore. Now Akron do. So
yeah, the streak usage was poor out of Wonders. I think you just panicked because you wanted to try to avoid a trap, but there was, as you said, no one to fill the opening that you found, well, more or less didn't find with the streak, and suddenly you're kicking yourself for that one. So definitely something we will keep an eye on here. You have that to use whenever. You need all 6 ticks of progress just for this thing to come down to lives for round 5. So Brock, it's got to be a very well thought out, well executed round, and I mean, with Aiden snapping like that right now, you don't want to get him a hot hand here. That stuff can be oh so dangerous. Spawn trap maybe starting to settle in after another set of kills, but Jat Mafia not quite dipping his toe on B yet, waiting for some teammates to support.
They haven't found Elite yet. He's slipped through the back lines. He's got 2 directly in front of him. If he can find at least 1, it's going to be a W. He finds a second as well. And now he can start flying all the way back up and towards this B lane and get to the spawn side once again. And they might not even be wary to where he's going to be. Somehow Thieves isn't dead yet. Wonders doesn't die either, but it's Jat Mafia who comes off the spawn side to help out his teammate. But Kaiser from the top ropes is going to be able to find himself 4 in a row, looking for number 5 and towards the point. Aim assist lost on that pull, but it's his teammate in Aiden who comes through the bottom of the bar, helps out Kaiser, keeps him alive. It's 3 different players streaking, 11 in total for Akron.
One more kill and Elite doubles up on his cruise missile time, dwindling this Akron squad. The potential is there, and when they piece it together, it is flashes of brilliance where they faltered at times. They are 20 seconds from their first map win tonight, one that would feel oh so good going into an Embassy hardpoint, but for now, clock stopped. Brock here. These next thing he does the kills are going to be everything. Yeah,
Cool Tux is going to be able to at least trade out his teammate in Wonders. Pinstripe kill feed is going to allow the Brock Bandits to still stay here over towards A, but now Elite's all the way on the back lines. It's 1 week. Cool Tux is able to come around the corner. Now it's Thieves with an opportunity for a trade. Finds Cool. Weakens him up in the back. Going to force him not to be able to challenge either towards the left or the right. Hipfire shots from Thieves are there, but now he's going to worry about the last 2 players now coming off of the spawn side. He backs off, gets away, has a scar up and towards over the top. Headshot onto Records. The second one in the left side corner. He should know exactly where they are. He will, but it's going to be Wonders who walks away with the kill. Trades back and forth yet again, but it's still a 7 life advantage to defense. And Elite, who's playing below, will get absolutely snapped on and shut down by Cool Tux, who will hold things over here over towards A. This might just be enough to get them this capture they need.
And you still have the streak. You get the stick that's going to wipe you down, and that's going to be worst case scenario. Another 1v1 having to be made. Wonders this week and has to jump on the point. Not going to have the lives enough to hold things up. You're on an open point. You can't get off of it. A streak can be used. Brock Bandits shaking in their boots right now.
I wouldn't hate a streak coming out here either. If you are the Akron Zips, you have a 16-10 advantage. You only have 9 seconds left in the round. 1 kill could change everything, and there's the streak. It's raining in from above. Hell could be spawned in here on the Bandits. 2 different players on the point. You might be able to get 2. You find 1, but you force everybody off the point. They're still here. 2 kills go the way of Akron. On the point, for the Brock Bandits. It's only records. Thieves is there, snaps back to the doorway. Wonder's the last alive. He won't be able to find anything, and everybody on the respawn too far away to touch the B point. Akron get their first round win in the series. They're going to force a map number 4.
Ooh. Looked good. The defensive rounds, very, very good out of Akron. Brock couldn't get anything generated. I mean, through that, they got 5 total ticks on their 2 offensive tries. And how about Elite? 31 and 18 in this one. I mean, manhandling the side of Brock Bandits there. That's what you needed. You needed someone. I mean, it was Kaiser in the early portion of the S&D, couldn't quite get it done. It was Thieves and Kaiser combining in map 1, couldn't get the job done. There, Elite's like, look, I'm willing this team along for a control win, and maybe going double positive is kind of what you needed to do, but again, it gets the job done at the end of the day, and here we are talking about it. If they have a good control, I feel good about their odds in this Embassy. If they play like they did in the control, there's no reason they should lose this, because, again, no matter how well Brock can play, that was a very, very good-looking Akron team, one that I feel like will be shades of what we could see later on down the road as they start to get more reps in together. Either way, not to get too far ahead of ourselves. Again, I really like their chances going into map 4 now with how well they're moving around Embassy.
And again, it comes down to those individual moments. It's like, you know, yes, there's a couple moments where it's like individual pop-offs, but like it's how they were trading. It's where they were always able to find another entry back over towards the site when it looked like, you know, maybe Brock would be able to capture A, or, you know, it looked like they weren't going to be able to get the B or the A zone. The ping-ponging that they did back between the 2 sites on the offense, and there's so many moments you can pick and choose between, but regardless of the fact, and I love the way that you said it, glimpses that we've seen, if they can piece that together for an entire map, let alone an entire series, this is a team that can get very scary, but it's not going to be like we have a ton of time for them just to kind of meander through those motions and get into high gear. You've got to do that relatively quickly. You don't want to start out 0-2, especially in Division 1, and if you're not able to bounce back here against the Bandits, and at least walk away with a series win to get yourselves back at a 1-1 standstill, playoffs, at least getting a higher seed in the playoffs, is going to start to slowly have diminishing returns. It's not going to look good. So, yeah, it's all fine and dandy. We can say whatever we want to. We can keep the conversation alive. All right, if they win the series, it's going to be good for them. But realistically, we just need to see them have a good hard point and not just be carried by Elite.
Absolutely. All the pieces have to come together. We've seen pop-up moments from each player individually at times. If they can put it all together as one cohesive unit, again, they are going to be nearly untradeable around the map, because that's what Elite showed here in this control. That's what they've shown throughout the entirety of the series. And for Brock, simply you were stunted. Offensively, it felt like they had no game plan. It just seemed like they were flying off spawn and getting gunned, and the spawn trap, again, getting frazzled by calling in a streak at the A site when they were spawning deep, B, and just a little out of sorts. Akron there to punish them for it. Now going into map 4, they have a chance to bounce back where, they took the Search and Destroy, but like I said, for Akron, in favor of them, the same thing for Brock Bandits, right? Though it is, Embassy, the Search and Destroy plays so differently. So, again, if they can come out here swinging, we've seen how map 4s go for a team that took a tough control loss, let alone a 3-1. I mean, if trends continue, Brock might be 100-point clubbing here, but again, I can't say enough about, at least just a feeling of that glimpse of Akron, their execution on Embassy. Yeah, looking pretty good for him.
Yeah, I looked at Thieves and Elite in that last control because, we can look at KD ratio, we can look at all these different things. It was how they were working on both sides of the coin, on offense and defense. Both of those players, whether it be 15 and 16 or 8 to 8 for both players respectively, the kills that they were getting were impactful on both sides of the coin there, and it wasn't they were just dominating on defense or just being able to kind of scrounge around and help out on offense. They were doing both things, no matter where you looked on the map, and that's really important because like if you're lacking on one side of the ball and you're consistently losing on one side of the ball, obviously that's going to be a big pain point sign where you can kind of just say, hey, this is where we need to get better at. In this regard, it's very nice because this is something you can work off of and you can build off of this. If you get everybody else involved in the action, that's where things turn around. My biggest problem is Akron has yet to win a map that's not a control here thus far in the season. So yes, that has looked really good for them, but that's already something that they have been able to win beforehand. I need them to see, and I need to see them take an Embassy or hard point. I need to see them take a Search and Destroy. And both of the maps that we had earlier on in the series were so winnable. maybe not as much as the hard point, but the search and destroy, especially, you're up like, what, 5-2, 5-3 at the end there, and you just let the Bandits win like 3-4 straight rounds to close out the S&D. Like, simply put, that just can't happen. But you fall apart at the seams, and that clutch gene that, you know, has been known to, like, be in Akron. It's like, oh, yeah, Akron game 5? Well, I don't want to take Akron in this series. No cop. And it just doesn't work. So, Embassy Hardpoint, need to turn it around. Bare minimum has to be a win here, or else you're starting your season down 0-2, and there's nothing else to say about it.
Yeah, and to kind of hit a couple of points here, and since we have the time to go through it, for Akron, you look at those losses, 2 points, 1 round through maps 1 and 2. Very fixable mistakes, but as you said, and to your closing point, you don't have a lot of time to turn that around. To go down 0-2 in your respective region would be very devastating, because you know, it's one where top 8 teams, you know, move on to playoffs. So you sure, top 8 sounds easy in the grand scheme of 12 teams, but 0-2 is doing nothing but working against you here. So they recognize how big this moment is for them. We've said this format, above any other year, right, stresses the importance of every match matters at this point. Regular season, you can't cruise control to playoffs. We are playing, you know, against the most respective skill levels as far as each team is compatible to, and that's why our series have shown that night in and night out. Diving into map 4 once again, as we said, Akron, we've diced it up and down what you need to do, and for Brock Bandits, the same thing goes their way. Who's going to minimize their mistakes, make bigger plays around the map, and well, walk out of here a map winner and see if the series extends.
There might be kills on the board here initially, but it is the Brock Bandits who do walk away with themselves at initial hill time. Sure, it's only been, you know, 10-15 seconds, but we saw how big of a difference that made in map number 1. So, you know, no hill can go unchecked. Record's going to be up top, looking for a few more kills here. Both teams just trying to evenly spread out the map, play for that P2 rotation with just about 10 seconds left, at least for the time being. You do have those Akron Zips players holding down by over P2. It was a very indestructible hold that we saw in the map 1 hard point on a few hills from Akron. Can they do that here again?
2 kills as the hill pops. Just 1 player in the back lines that Elite is going to try to sniff out, and should get timing on here in a moment. That'll be the case. Again, moving well. The map spread is very good around the map. This P2 looking sharp off the break for Akron Zips. They give up 26 seconds. That's all about to be quickly wiped away here, and Rock Bandits haven't so much as sniffed the point.
They're going to be the first line of context here. Able to find the first one on the Jam Mafia. It's Wonders who's there for a trade. Finds it, snaps to a second one as well. Shots to the door aren't going to connect onto anything, but that's 2 good quick kills that come from the Brock Bandits. And now over towards the point, it's Wonders who's there for yet another good kill. He's been electric. There's no other way to put it. And here on the hard point, another reason why Brock has the lead right now is just one man broke an entire hold.
And sometimes what you need to get your team going off of a slow start, and I can't say it's even been a slow start, but one where Akron were threatening a full 60. Now you give yourself a 10-point advantage into a scrappy P3 rotation where no one is a clear-cut winner. Sure, Kaiser will be here on time first, but Brock quickly threatening around the edges of the map. Thieves is able to hold off, combining with a teammate for 2, but they're still looming in the distance.
Trophy down. Kaiser's going to play this snake head glitch with the AR in hand. Snaps over towards the second with his teammate, and Elite is going to be there. Record's going to be the next one up to Chow with Cool Tux on the staircase, and as Cool Tux pops for 2, the last players from Akron Zips that are going to be close to the point are going to be having to sprint up the staircase. Aid there from Thieves. Aiden going to be able to pick the second. That's pretty, but it's Jam Mafia who is there on an immediate chase down. That's going to be able to break into this hill. Very contest heavy. It's been here on P3, 50-46 here through the first initial 2.5 hills.
Both teams having someone at each hill being a problem, whether it's a 2v2 or a 1v1 that, well, Brock was able to take. Akron get the last laugh as the hill looks to come to its conclusion and pop for P4. Numbers advantage still going their way, and still plenty of real estate to fight for. Player 1 and player 8 doing a dance. You are going to be in here if you Cool Tux, but the spawn's going to be closed for the Zips. They're going to get in with a 10-point lead going into P4, and you couldn't be spawning much further out.
He was unfortunate there. But a beautifully placed nade from Jam Mafia will take him down off the power position that he was trying to hold down for the rest of his team. Front door. Elite going to be looking for the first one. Snaps back over towards the second. Third one going to be up to challenge. Hello, Papa! New man on the block with a sub in hand. He might be new to this roster, but a senior and a veteran when it comes to Call of Duty.
Alright, here's Zips are wondering where he was sooner. The way he has taken over this game, sitting over double positive on a 3 spree here. What more can you find? But I said it coming into this map. Akron looking hyper aware of what they need to do. It's contested time and time that Brock Bandits will walk away with, but P5 can also be a full 60 that Akron could blow this game wide open with. How clean do these next kills come in on transition?
What can Wonders do here from the top side? Doesn't have dead silence just yet. Slowly crouching around the back line. Shots there onto Thieves. Tries to snap back to the second. Elite makes a great play to sniff out and snuff the flank from behind. And he's able to help out his teammate in the rest of the hill. 15-6 from him here. Wasn't able to get streaks on the initial hold in the last previous hill. But now we'll look to do the same thing here. Stickiness MTech's going to be able to go ahead and walk away from the gunfight anyways, regardless of the fact Aznev's going to be able to take down the first player challenging from the Brock Bandits. And now as they come from that south portion of the minimap, these Akron Zips players are all aware that this push is now starting to make its way through. The hit is imminent, but another flank try from the Akron roster gets cut down. Here it comes. Naden through the front. 3 kills immediately go to the side of blue. And as the Navy and Gold try to hold on resilient, it's going to be Aiden and Kaiser who tag team the last player alive as they try to come up through the doorway. And now it's going to be yet again the Brock Bandits looking from the outside in for 20 seconds of time. Do you really want to push this, or do you want to rotate to P6?
Solo Chow's coming in. Brock Bandits doubled up on the score line, trying to find any kind of semblance of life as this hill pops. Need to get a big response here. We're back to P1. We're sure they got the lion's share of time. But P2 is whenever Akron are able to at least make a big response. So much pressure on them. They can't let this time go the way of Akron. They need to put emphasis on P2. Dishes starting to pile up in front of you. Which one do you try to take care of first? Question going to be the P1 time, but you know you got to fight for P2 here in a few moments.
If Elite walks away with that kill, that actually makes just a completely big difference because of how much map space that would have garnered them, as well as what that would have done for him, because I believe that would have put him on 4, maybe 5 in a row. That could have been an opportunity for streaks, especially with Brock coming off the respawn side of things. That would have changed everything of how we were shaping this map up to be. Basically a full doubling of the points of the Brock Bandits right now. Akron has not turned back since the beginning of this portion of the game, and dare I say it, it's looking like the the high point series that we just saw beforehand.
And it is. Wonders slowing down to an extent. I mean, 12 and 17, but no one around him doing much better. And the Elite in these respawns, whether it's 31 and 18 or 23 and 10, just over halfway through this hard point, absolutely feeling himself flying around. I mean, when you're jump challenging like that, yeah, you're winning every gunfight. Oh, I thought he almost won it there, but again, Akron completely dismantling this Brock Bandits team. They're running out of opportunities to respond here. A good P2 hold would be nice for the back 40, but again, so long as you cannot trade these Akron players out, there will always be one left over.
Thieves, head glitch. Couple going to be up for the challenge. Kaiser's there as well, and Kaiser's already walked away with 2. Might as well make it a 3rd. Can you go for number 4? Say hello. It's Thieves who's going to knock down that last peg of the push from the Brock Bandits roster. Still spawning relatively close, though, are the Bandits. Thieves is going to take a different angle, and a challenge on the records is going to be able to walk away with it. I don't know how he wins that, but he does. A 100-point advantage to the side of Akron. Brock absolutely nowhere to be found here inside of the hard point. This time continues to go up. In terms of the scoreboard for Akron, a Game 5 seems more and more likely.
We'll see how quickly we can push in, but I mean, again, Records pushing up a staircase, no teammates in sight. It's just hard when you have to flight this and you have to try to make a crazy play to make a break. You don't have time to wait for your teammates. Now, 2 players are going to be the closest one up. It's going to be a 2v3 on time. You can win it here. You know where the push is coming from. Hold your pre-aim, see what you can do. Brock Bandits running out of opportunities.
I'll tip it. 28 and 13 from Elite. Last 2 games, he has been electric for Akron. And dare I say it, the only reason they've been able to have such a strong presence in these last 2 respawn game modes. 4 in a row from Aiden. Everybody playing extremely well on Akron right now, but the big difference of everything is that they still have players here over towards the last hill and out on rotation. It doesn't matter what happens next, unless the Brock Bandits can somehow make a break on back. They just need to focus their reinforcements, focus their mindset for map number 5, start talking about strategies for the search and destroy, because that door is quickly shutting. 8 seconds left here for map number 1, or excuse me, map number 4.
Akron stringing it together consistently. You got off to a slow start earlier tonight, but you found a way to rally back in a big fashion. 1 more kill is all it'll take. 250. What I think is 107. And you can't say enough to, again, a slow start only does so much, but, you know, if you're heating up in the back half of your night, we still forget, as much as these maps are important, it is so early on. It's so hard to have it all figured out as you go. We talked about, well, how not visible this feeling is for this Akron team when they piece it together, and they're showing more and more glimpses of it the longer this series goes on.
Two quick embassies in both the map 4s that we've seen on stream tonight. 2 map 5s to start off the CCL season. And 1 scoreboard that shows you everything that you need to know about that last embassy. Akron frying. Brock Bandits couldn't get anybody positive. Oh,
what's going on? What is going on here?
I couldn't tell you. Lackluster gameplay in these last 2 maps.
It's Mercado. Do we get a more exciting search and destroy for Game 5?
You certainly hope so, right?
That's true.
The last one wasn't great. 6-2. You saw Chattanooga be able to take off High Point. The Panthers fell, but again, it was one-dimensional search and destroy gameplay. It's just something you just don't hope to see yet again. The first map, Akron had everything going for them because Kaiser started off super hot. He slowed down. Akron really couldn't do anything towards the end of the game. Yeah, you had some of the rounds where everybody else was able to step up, but Brock were able to figure out what Akron were doing pretty much every single round, shut that down, and then use that in their own regard to say, hey, screw it, we're going to take over the search and destroy. They did. We're up 2-0, but now we're at a tie series. Again, I said right after the search and destroy was over, I'm like, this feels like it's going to be like a Vanguard, early Modern Warfare series where we just go 2-2 and then game 5 is whoever's game, but that's exactly where we end up falling. So sorry, my bad for jinxing it, but it's provided us some interesting and content-filled Call of Duty, so I can't really be too upset.
It really has, and it's just good to see Akron come out, play Embassy well, mode in and mode out, a map that they do look very comfortable on. I mean, if the score lines don't tell you anything, of course that map 2 is tough, but here on the Respawn, definitely one they were eager to get to. Reverse sweep's been snuffed out once tonight. Do Akron have what it takes to finally have the ice when it matters most? I mean, the way that they're shooting right now, 20 and 13 across 2 players, 19 and 11. 307 in the hill for Aiden also. Let's just boast that stat line. I mean, sure, lowest kills in the lobby technically, but 307 in the hill, I'll take that every day of the week. Elite at 30 and 15, double positive. That's a couple respawns where he has over a 2.0 KD. The search and destroy, though, you have to be willing to make adjustments. If Kaiser has to put away the sniper, run around and fry with a sub or an AR, let that be the case, but be willing to make adjustments because Brock made a hard counter to you the last 4 rounds and absolutely put you down for it. You can't let that be the case here. You can't go with just a one-trick plan. If it doesn't work, pull something else out of the bag and see what else can stick. But so someone in the back production said it should be a short night, right? That's why we have 2 series of Game 5 and still another series after this. Someone said something. I'll find you. It's a great cause, so I'm not mad, but I'll find you. Make sure it doesn't happen again.
Just talking about Aiden real quick before we send things to a break. I'm pretty sure that was the second map in the series where both the hard points. I think he had over 3 minutes in the hill. Which is a crazy statistic. And the fact that he wasn't able to win that first map while doing that and having everybody else slay out around him was kind of crazy. Either way, sending things to a break. When we come back, Game 5, Brock Bandits, Akron Zips, 2 wins apiece in the series. We'll take all the glory in the final map. Find out after a short break. Well, welcome back. Game 5 on the loom. Brock Bandits, Akron Zips. It's been an electrifying series so far. Didn't think that we'd get to another Game 5 so soon, but here we are. So it's one search and destroy to end things off here. Akron in the first search and destroy looked really good on Embassy. Brock Bandits, though, came back from a 5-2 deficit to win that game over. We'll take a look at our overarching map set here and see where we've gone from where we're going. Of course, 250, 248, that Hotel Hardpoint map 1, and then a 6-5 Embassy search and destroy. But still trying to complete this reverse sweep is the Akron Zips roster. 1-3 for the El Asilo the control, and then the 250, 107 on the Embassy. Leads us all to the final climactic point of the series. Mercado, search and destroy, the 1 bomb site map. Cash, what do you got for me?
I was going to talk about the 1 bomb site map and how I really do hope it's not just putting our heads down and sprinting at it. I can't wait for hopefully some more evolved strategy on that map, but I guess it works most of the time, so I understand it. It just can be a little stagnant to watch, but again, like you said, it is that 1 bomb site, which means when's that first push going to come over towards the B site? Akron not going for it for now, and well, Brock locking down this mid-map portion. Who is it? Kaiser connects for the first blood with attack, so you pull out a sniper maybe to counter if you're Brock Bandits. Kaiser playing 1 step ahead. Give them the early life advantage. Of course not.
Counter it out, but you walk away with a kill for it. So, I mean, yeah, as much as you'd like to maybe not, it's going to be very difficult to challenge that again. I'm not sure if I love Elite, or excuse me, I'm not sure if I love Kaiser challenging that out immediately, but he does anyways. But Elite's now bottom Cantina, working its way over towards A. You have Records here who's just playing inside of the tunnel. Nobody checks it, lets it go away, and he survives with 10 HP and his life. 2 versus 2. Bomb will go down. You still have Jat who has that sniper in the back alley lane. Will you be able to find anything just yet? At least right now, the answer is no.
Gotta figure out where this push is. Makes a good read, but the little strafe, little shimmy able to shake you off, and then make the read on tunnel. So, not super fast, but still continuing to have a life advantage throughout it. Akron walk away with round number 1.
Yeah, I mean, you recognize that when Records got away with his life in the middle map, he didn't wrap back around to the alley with his teammate when Jet started to push his way up. So, there's only one logical spot where Records could be, and it's probably going to be in the mid-map. So, Kaiser makes the read there with attack in hand. 2 kills already to start out the search and destroy, very similar to what we saw map number 2. But really, it just goes to show the veteran leadership that you can get from a guy like Kaiser, even though he's a young phenom and a freshman on this team. The experience that he had with that Western roster when it came to search and destroy really just turns what he has in terms of knowledge and the play-making ability up to an 11. Wonders almost snaps for a second. It's Cool Tux who's there for a trade on to Aiden. 3 versus 2, advantage to the Brock Bandits. Very quick gunfights there in the round.
You have the angle of your thieves. Try to watch through tunnel, but it's Kaiser who connects with the kill for his 3rd. Here through 2 rounds. A 2v2 once again, and you don't have quite the site control you'd like if you're Rock Bandits to push out here and plant the bomb, and Thieves at an off angle playing much closer up this tunnel is going to pop out, find the kill. Now 1v2, bombs up in here, Thieves on the hunt.
Cool Tux by himself has dead silence to work with, so he chooses to use it.
This angle.
That's exactly what he does, but he jumps down the staircase. Should be spotted by Kaiser on the jump challenge. Doesn't realize there's somebody behind him over towards the left, but he can get out and play over towards B if he wants to. This is going to force the hand of Akron to start playing maybe a bit more aggressive up in towards the site. Kaiser, beautiful head glitch, going to cut down the player in towards top Cantina. Akron, 2 straight rounds.
Playing it patient and playing it disciplined. Both on the offensive and defensive try. And sure, 2 rounds off the break isn't a lot, right? We kind of talk about that momentum maybe starting to be garnered in 3 rounds when you get back to that try, but now you start to have control of the pacing more and more, right? 2 round wins lets you decide here, we could go towards this B site, see what we can find. We can try to bully out A and go for a quick 3rd round in a row. You're going to see the split off of player 1. And Kaiser trying to get an angle with the sniper, but you're going back towards this A site. Mafia connects with the grenade, and that's going to be bombed down for a moment, but that lets player 7 get in position just for it to be traded out by Elite. A 3v3 once again, but this top side of the map, I feel like either player might try to push through here if they can work it.
You feel happy that you take that first kill off the board. Like, you get Aiden cut down with a nade, but, like, where do you go from here? Because now you really don't have, like, all that much control over by A. You still have 2 players from Akron here, and now you have Kaiser who's trying to rotate back and wrap around to help. Well, you're still technically in a 2 versus 3 at the site now because you still have, Records all the way on the opposite side of the map trying to watch over for B. Thieves is in a great spot here. Can play this passive. Does have the bomb in hand, though, so he's going to be the first one that has to make a move back around. Wonders up to challenge. Going to be able to walk away with a gunfight. Player in towards the middle of the map won't be there in time. Fees backs off with his life. Had 5 HP. Regen to full health now. Jet Mafia, Records, 2v3 back over towards A.
I'd love to see... I would have loved to have seen Records push through on a flank because I don't think it's being watched by either team right now. So maybe the first team that gets rewarded for it is the one that tries. Both players going to push through tunnel here, and they're going to line up, so that's going to be enough for it. Kaiser has a sniper, and another player is still alive. They have you locked tunnel. You have to make a play now. You either need to commit through tunnel or wrap through the back. This is already starting off too slow.
Yeah, and if you go through tunnel, I mean, you have the sniper watching the lane already, and you have the teammate there for an immediate trade, even if he's able to get some good timing on the Kaiser, but he might be able to just slip the knot here. Shot's going to be out long. Okay, Kaiser's the first one to fall. Tries to snap to the second, and Elite can just play his life. All you have to do here is just play time. 17 seconds to get back over towards the bomb. If you just check this out for even a half second and realize that he's not there, you might be able to walk away with it somehow. Records is able to win the gunfight, snaps over to the bomb as well. An Elite and overzealous gunfight. Maybe he thought he was trying to get the bomb defused, but you cannot run out into the open like that, just giving yourself away for free.
Records, I would like to apologize on record for saying your play was too slow. I know nothing. Forgive me. And that's the clutch we were talking about.
Dude. It's little moments like that, man. Because like, yeah,
But he shouldn't have won it, right? Right?
No,
like,
not at all.
Okay. I'm just.
No, because like Elite's playing time. Like you're just playing time. You just like jumping out the window like that is the dumbest play that you could possibly make there. You give yourself no room to run back over towards bottom cantina. You are just put out in the open, and if he gets good timing, you're dead. Regardless though, new round, new them. Wonders, challenges, first one through the doorway, down over towards the bottom of the staircase. Door will snap on open, but it's going to be Cool Tux who's there, and now you know these ones in cantina, you have them trapped. Around the corner, trying to snip out one, snaps for one, gets the second as well. Cool Tux gets put down like a sick dog.
Oh man, that's good stuff. You can't get enough of snaps like that. And once again, it's Rock Bandit stuck on the outside of the tunnel with really no entry point in. The flank is open. The flank is wide open. It's been open for 3 rounds. No one willing to take it though, and you get chopped down from top cantina. It's not quite the 4-on-4 bully ball at A, but boy, defensively, if Rock Bandits look the exact same through 4 rounds. Here it is. Oh yeah.
Beautiful free cam into a snap there from Elite. Shout out to the production crew for getting us these angles. Papa Ryan with the free cam. So sexy he is with his little stash and everything like that. Oh man, like me could talk about him for hours. 6-3 Elite here in the S&D. 3 straight kills for himself. It was Kaiser who opened things up, really took the reins and started running for Akron off the rip in the search and destroy. Ever since that point, Thieves, Elite have both turned up. Cranked themselves to an 11 here for the final map inside of this best of 5 series. Cool Tux isn't able to snap to the second. Elite gets a good trade inside bottom cantina. There's another one there, but it's Wonders who walks away with the kill. And now it's last alive. 1 versus 2 for Kaiser. The Iceman in the series so far gets shot down in the back lines. Fortunate there, won't be able to walk away with the clutch. But the search and destroy stays within just a round.
That's really heads up out of Jat. His teammate gets cut down over at the B site in a 1v1, and instantly Jack goes to pick it up, which is just heads up because you can disregard that until it's a more immediate threat. He picks it up immediately, and that's what wins them the round there because Kaiser, as you said, Iceman through the back lines would not have bode well for you. A great awareness out of the Bandits. Pick up the open lanes. They get around 1 for it and keep it within 1.
You have an over. Oh, if that were to hit, GG.
I like
Beautiful
the idea,
place
though,
name.
to make noise.
Yeah, no, and it's good too because like that definitely does give them like hey, they might be going over towards A, but you still have Thieves who's just playing up top here. And I don't think anything connected on him, so I don't think they necessarily have any information. Okay, well there goes the stun, so they're gonna know that Thieves is up in towards the top. They can play this around the site. He needs some help back over towards B, and he's not gonna get that just yet. But Aiden is going to be there. You look to the backside of spawn. Elite off-screen engagement now on-screen against Records. Will jump out and around the corner. Beautiful kill there, cuts everything down. Now it's a man advantage for Akron as they start to go ahead and pinch their way back over towards B.
And that 1v1 is really indicative of the round. You don't have many more openings to slip back through. Bomb goes down there, so it's a 1v3. But, I mean, had you been able to sniff out that flank if you were Records, this could have been a much different looking round. Now, site surrounded. You're going to try to find the kills that you can. Everyone going to scurry, reposition, and time working against you as well. Feels like a 1v4 with the clock.
Yeah. Yeah, that bomb going down in that warehouse building, not being able to have any sort of information on where anybody else is, and not being able to walk away with that kill on the back spawn, no, just completely gave everything away from a winnable round 2 in an inevitable loss. So 4-2 we go here in the search and destroy. Brock has been good in their S&Ds, and it's been late games where the resurgence has been there, but Akron just seemed to be okay with switching the things up that they're doing in the S&D this time around. It's not just the same, like, okay, we'll hope this works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't, but everybody's just getting kind of a piece of the pie here in this game, and it's right now on the back of Elite having some great consecutive rounds.
Posting another 2.0 KD for now. Playing behind this door. Seeing what kills he can find. Stuns, Tack's gonna connect. A 3v4 at the site, though they don't know it. We'll see how these first bloods end. They've got an idea someone's close, but who's gonna give for the first gunfight? Oh my gosh, dancing around.
Kaiser gets him through the doorway as well. Another one gonna be close up for a challenge. It's Aiden who's there. Jat in the back lines. There's just really not anything to find, and Records has played by himself or a B the entire time. Yes, there's a flank, starting to formulate itself, and maybe you pinch this, but instead you go directly throughout the middle of the map. Bomb gonna get planted. I think Aiden might have spotted Records in the middle of the map as well. Yeah, you can play this together, and you will, but...
We'll see what they can do. I would have loved to have seen Records just take the time. His teammate found the kill. He could have wrapped around. Surely not.
He's behind you.
Uh-oh.
He's behind you. Just turn around. Aiden just turned around. He's going to be keen to it, but he won't walk away with the kill. And once again, another round where Akron has the advantage. Akron has the bomb down, and Akron loses the damn round.
And that's twice I've called Records out on not liking his play. And you know what? Records, do what you want. I trust the process. Sorry it took me doubting 2 rounds to get on board, but all aboard the Records clutch bandwagon. That is something. What could have been series point for Akron, as you said, a situation with bomb down and advantage. They end up fumbling the bag. Rock Bandits keeping this one close, but still a daunting 3 rounds ahead of them if they want to win it. Still some rounds to work with.
Everybody is here from both teams. All 4 on defense, all 4 on offense. Record, the first kill. Kaiser, double. Elite, 1 as well. 1 versus 3. Jet Mafia up top, and it's Aiden who walks away with the kill. Akron, this time through, they're back up to a 5-3 advantage. The last time, Brock came back 3 straight rounds and won the S&D. This time, Akron with a chance to close out the series, complete the reverse sweep, and get their first win of the CCL season.
It's all here. 1 round left. Going to be on defense, or excuse me, offense. 9-3, 9-5, 6-6. I mean, you've put up the numbers to win it all. What do you have left? And if you're Brock, can you make a response and a stand now? Your 1 round that you had to work with, suddenly out the door, and it's a B push coming in. Your island player going to have his hands full very quickly. How quickly can Brock clear this out and push through?
Oh, shots to the head. Not going to be able to walk away with a gunfight win just yet, but Thieves chases it down through the doorway, snuffs out the first blood, and looks for a second as well. Cool Tux is there, though. Vaznev up close. Elite for a trade. Wonders, Records, the last 2 you have to go ahead and try to force this search and destroy to get a little further out. With a 45-second timer, this bomb will go down.
Man disadvantage, retaking the site so hard. It's hard to get here, but if you do, it is so worth the risk. All 3 players going to be stacked up in warehouse. You got to try to play these kills. I mean, Records out of the play. Wonders has to wait for this. His teammate is nowhere near to play a trade. I don't know what the play call was there. Either way, this one going to be over.
You're looking out the back lines. I mean, you're just trying to find something. You're trying to find information around the map, and you can't find anything. The Akron Zips will come down from what seemed like the depths of despair and hell, and after 3 straight maps, they'll take the series in this best of 5 to get themselves their first win of the season. It was a 1-3 loss to Farmingdale that everybody was like, how the hell did you lose that? But against a very formidable Brock Bandits roster, they go ahead, walk away from it. The better team in the search and destroy, I'd say arguably in both of the S&Ds. This time, though, they come through with the clutch gene. They take the series. Congratulations to Akron. You're finally on the board.
They played it smarter. Like you said, map 2, I think they did the same thing. It's just that I think Brock had too much rolling in their favor by the time Akron was willing to adjust again. Records make some great plays, some great clutches. 2 of the 3 rounds were clutches, which is crazy to think because it felt like they had more rounds on the board as a result, but not quite the case. Elite, Kaiser, 2 players who really could be a disgusting duo going forward. Again, the glimpses we have seen, just to even talk about the series as a whole, right? When Akron kind of fumbling the bag, kind of playing slow at times, maybe some miscommunication, they lose by 2 points in 1 round in the first 2 maps.
Yeah.
And when those things are firing, I mean, it was no contest.
Yeah, Elite kind of just like said, like, all right, boys, we're winning the series. Strap the pack up, and boom, they won the series. Sure, it's not all on Elite. Everybody in the supporting cast has to be firing as well at the same time. But I mean, it's moments like that. You get the replay there where he just snaps to the second. You walk away with a round win as well, and everything just seems to just be starting to turn in the right direction. Maybe it was that first 1-3 loss that they needed. Those first 2 maps that they lost that they needed inside of the series to really kick things into high gear. But it seems seems like, at least for now, the panic around this Akron roster not being as good as everybody might have thought it was going to be into the season is slowed down for now. I think people can take a nice outlook, say, all right, step back, wide view. Maybe it was just an overblown first series, whatever it might have been. You know, the other team came to play, and Farmingdale might turn into, you know, a top-tier roster later down the line. Who knows? So for Akron, I'm not too worried about it. They've got a long season ahead of them. They've got a lot of great things on the back burner that they can boast going forward. But Kaiser and Elite, man, how can you not be happy with two guys who are joining the roster for the first time and just providing everything that you need and more to take over a series?
I mean, 17 out of 21 non-traded kills between them. Both of them getting up to a 4 spree, first bloods. I mean, Kaiser's able to get 3 of them as well. So, like you said, great job, newcomers on the squad, filling in some pretty big shoes left by players previous, and hey, looking like that once they can get things kind of locked in and going. We still forget, right, that we put so much pressure on it because the competition's so high, because there's so much to play for. We forget that it is still night 1, you know, and as you said, for Akron to kind of make that vouch, you know, it is a loss that was unexpected earlier, but one where there's still time. You have to figure it out. Sure, you have to figure it out sooner than later, and you don't want to be downward streaking for too long. But again, they make a good bounce back here on the first night where you get those first game jitters out of the way, find some footing, get a good game 5 win under your belt. And as we look at the map set of how we got here, it was a nail biter through the first 2 maps, and really behind Elite and that control and the rest of the team coming into the last 2 maps, it was all zipped from there on out.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything kind of speaks for itself, but, you know, if those first 2 maps have 1 or 2 plays that completely changes around, you know, that can flip a 6-5 into what would have been an Akron, like, 6-3 win. Or you change that hard point where it was like, oh, man, 1 play in the game where Akron decided to push, you know, a late 20-second time instead of rotating out early. We easily could have had that be like a 250 to 200 hard point for Akron. And, you know, it's not to say that Brock didn't show up and play, because they won those games. You know, the plays that they made were the right ones. They came away, they walked away with them. But again, it just goes to show how close this series was throughout those first 2. And then when really Akron started to kick it into high gear, they never really looked back after that point. And that's what a control can do for you in a series, especially after a very close, you know, first 2 maps. You get that control, you say, all right, we just start playing the way that we want to, you know, trading back and forth effectively, being able to communicate with one another, and just being able to push our way through a series. It's really, really strong. So before we send into a break, closing thoughts on the series? Yeah,
it's one where, again, trends showing in the right direction for Akron. It was a close series where you lost the first 2 maps by, like you said, decisions of difference, and then you blow things out when things start clicking. But for Brock, you can't deny that they showed up here. They showed they have ice through those first couple of maps, being down the way they were and still finding the way to make the right play and to rally back. Both teams are looking good. Unfortunately, one walks out with a loss. Fortunately for the other side, you walk out with a win. But again, so excited to see how these teams continue to trend in their respective group.
Absolutely. Congratulations to the Akron Zips for the Brock Bandits. It's back to the drawing board, but you still have a lot of upside here throughout the rest of the season. Before we kick it to a break, once again, a big thank you to the people that make this possible. Fandom, of course, being one of them, and then America's Navy. America's Navy, the most highly skilled, technologically advanced military force in the world. But did you know that the Navy also allows you to earn a college education at their expense? That's right. When enlisted, you can attend class even while on ship. The Navy offers world-class training using cutting-edge equipment and technology to prepare enlisted men and women to maximize their potential. To learn more information, go to Navy.com to find everything else out. That being said, that does it for our second series here tonight. We've got one final series before things end here for day 1 of the first week of Collegiate Call of Duty. Next up, Louisiana State University. The COD LSU esports roster takes on Mars Hill Esports, a new entry inside of this season of the CCL. Both teams looking to start their ventures into a brand new Call of Duty title with a 1-0 standstill in their pools. Regardless of that fact, we'll send to a quick break. When we come back, a beautiful best of 5 series and the conclusion to a fantastic